Hello Islanders and global viewers, welcome back. Today we are making Jamaican jerk seasoning, and I'm staying away from that word authentic. You know why? That is quite controversial. So many different versions of Jamaican jerk seasoning we have out there. So for the safe side, I'll be saying to you, we are making Jamaican jerk seasoning. Let's get to it. Okay guys, here are our ingredients that we'll be using. We'll be using some brown sugar, cinnamon powder, pimento berries, salt, garlic, 2 heads of garlic, some scallion, thyme, lime, scotch bonnet pepper, the all famous scotch bonnet pepper. There's no jerk without scotch bonnet. Then here I have some rosemary fresh from the garden. Also the thyme is fresh from our garden. And some ginger, just about a thumb size piece of ginger. And the 2 large onions. Over here we have some vinegar and a bit of browning. Alright, let's get right into it now guys. Okay guys, let's just prepare our seasoning now. For the blender, you can also use a processor if you like, but I am using a blender, so I'm going to just rough chop these. You don't have to chop them really small because of course the blender will take care of that. Give them chops like that and they'll be ready to go. Alright, that's it for the scallion. Then the thyme, we want to just remove the thick part of the stem from the thyme. Just that part. We don't have to remove all of the stem. That's enough, right? Some persons will just strip it right down and use only the little leaves, but here we are using most of it, using most of what we can use. Okay, just remove the thick part of it, as we said before. The garlic is already prepared. It's washed and ready to go. Now for the ginger. This is the ginger that we'll be using. I said just about a thumb size piece of ginger. Give this a little bit of a cut as well. Just cut it in a few little pieces. We just help it along the process. That's it, that will do it. Onions. So give them a little rough chop as well. There we go. That's it. These onions are large, you could give them another cut. Yes. And like I said, you can use a processor if you have one, or a blender like we're using here. Now this jerk process is, you know, it was originally brought here by our ancestors, our Jamaican ancestors, the Tainos, and it is also said that the Tainos and the Maroons cooperated on coming up with this jerk seasoning, and the entire jerk process was born with those indigenous people as well, because in that time they didn't have a lot of fancy ways to preserve the meats, so they used to try to do it with different little natural seasonings that they could get, and also to just jerk it over the smoke fire, so as you know, to just preserve it a longer time, but there was no refrigeration at that time. All right, now this Jamaican jerk is, let me tell you something, people travel from all over the world to come and sample our Jamaican jerk, all over the world, to sample this authentic flavor. But like I said, I'm not telling you that this is the authentic recipe. I'm doing it my way, which is, you know, generally on par with what is done, but some persons add a little of this, a little of that, or take out a little of this and a little of that. But essentially, if you're doing jerk, you need to have pimento berries, garlic, scallion, thyme, onion, ginger, and you have to have some vinegar to preserve it. The browning is kind of optional if you just want to give it that color, okay? And the salt. All right, there we go. This is our rosemary. It smells so good. And rosemary has a very strong flavor, so you don't want to use too much if you're not used to that flavor. And we don't want this stick. The stick is a bit stiff, stiffer than the thyme, so I'm just going to scrape it off the stick and use the leaves. Okay, there we go, just like that. You have a clean stick. See that? Yes. All right. Now we're coming over to the peppers. Now these scotches are not playing, these are serious games, a serious game we're playing here with the scotchy. Now some people remove the seeds and some prefer to keep the seeds. I am going to opt to just remove the stem and use the whole pepper just like that. The blender will take care of everything, don't worry about it. So you don't have to cut it up too small and get your hand burnt. Right, you can just drop it in like that, seed and everything, or if you prefer and you can't take too much of the heat, be careful and remove the seeds. Okay, now for the lime, I'm going to just cut this in half. I'm going to use my lemon squeezer to squeeze it because that's quite easy for me, makes it much easier. That way I don't have to worry about separating the seeds. Otherwise you can just squeeze it the regular way. All right, let's combine these into our blender now. No special order to put it in, you're just going to put everything into the blender. Okay, here we go now, adding in our seasoning to the blender. That's the scallion. Whoa, yes. Onion. That's it. Ginger now. The peppers, adding in these peppers now. The scotch bonnet. Huh. Listen to me. This is a serious thing going on here. This is no joke. If you cannot manage the heat, you ever heard the saying, if you cannot manage the heat, get out of the kitchen? Well, this is a prime example. If you cannot manage all that, don't fill it up with all that amount of pepper. You choose how much pepper you can use, because also this jerk can be used on just about any food that you would like. You can use it in your soup, you can use it on your various meats, chicken, fish, pork, shrimp, lobster, just about any meat you're having, or even vegetables too. Because when I made like my chickpeas, I put jerk seasoning in it. When I made that curry chickpeas earlier back on the channel. And my rosemary now adding in. This thing is filling up nicely. All right. Garlic, time for the garlic. There you go, 2 heads of garlic, not 2 cloves. I told you 2 heads. This is what we refer to as a head of garlic. Yes, I use 2 heads in this. The full quantities will be in the description for you. All right. Time for pimento berries. Can't leave that out, you know. Then our sugar, or dark sugar. Fabulous. Fabulous. Let's add our vinegar now. We're going to use just about 1/4 cup of vinegar. Depending on the thickness that you're trying to achieve, you can use a little less or a little more. So let's put that in, that about 1/4 cup first, and then if anything you can tip a little more. So that's the vinegar we are using, white vinegar. If you have regular apple cider vinegar, you can use it as well. All right. Yeah, that's just about 1/4 cup. Now we're coming in with our cinnamon powder. Oh wow, this is smelling like it's ready to just throw onto some nice meat or even veggies. It's smelling so strong already. Now the browning that I'm using for that color. This is the browning that we're using. All right, just to add that extra darkness to it. All right, that's it. Next on, we're using our salt. What about the salt? Salt. Now the salt is to your discretion. You have to know what you're going to be using it with. And if you'll be adding salt to other things that you're using it to prepare, just add in here a tablespoon of salt. All right, that's it. Adding in our lime now. Oh, lovely. I find these lemon squeezers really help to get out all that extra juice. Yes. Okay guys, let's cover and blend. Wow, that looks good, smells good. Some serious stuff going on up in here, guys. This is no joke business, like I told you before. The pepper is kicking. Just use the 3 peppers and trust me, the smell is so powerful. Come closer guys, come on in, have a look. Do you see that? That's the consistency that we're looking for. Look at that, nice and thick. And you will notice that you don't see any chunks in it, right? Everything is smooth, all combined to make one awesome flavor. Jamaican jerk seasoning. Look at it, look at it. Awesome. We're gonna just bottle this up now. If you have a glass container, please use that. Okay guys, it's time to pour this into our container. I'm using my glass jar, as I suggested that you would use also. Put the spout back on so as to just guide it nicely down into the jar. That's it, that's it. Oh, this smell is powerful. This is some powerful stuff. Can't wait to put this on maybe some pork, you know, or even some chicken, whatever it is you want to put this jerk to. Remember, you can. Look at that. Awesome. That's it. That's it, guys. The bottle is full. One full bottle of goodness. All wrapped up in one fabulous flavor. Jamaican jerk seasoning. Well guys, there you have it, your Jamaican jerk seasoning ready to use. There you go. Look at that. Look at that consistency. Yes, look at that. Awesome. That's it. That's what you want. Now, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you. Ciao.